Hello, good morning all. Today in this video, we are going to discuss regarding how to create menus in Odoo. So in the previous video, we have learned about how to create database tables in Odoo. So now we will be looking about how to add menu in Odoo. So we all know that this is the menus. So here we can see we have a discuss menu, sales menu, invoicing, inventory, link tracker, apps and setting. So let's see how we can add a menu for our hospital module. So what we will be looking is how to add a menu over here for our hospital module. So first of all, what we will be doing is that we will be going to the PyCharm, and here we have our custom module, that is OM hospital. So we will be adding couple of menus from this module. So the menu will be loaded from XML side, that is we have added model from Python file. So the menu, it's something related with the views, so all the view related things will be coming from the XML files. So according to the Odoo coding structure, all the XML file has to be placed inside views folder. So similarly, as I have created models folder, now what I'll be doing is that I'll be creating a new folder. So I click on right click, new, click on directory, and I'll create a folder named views. Click on OK. So we will be adding the menu inside the views folder. Now what I'll do, I'll create a new file inside the views folder and I'll name it as menu.xml. I'll name it as menu.xml. Click on OK. So you can see we have successfully added a XML file inside the views folder, and I have named it as menu.xml. So as we have imported the Python files in the init, so you can see the patient.py I have imported in the init file. If it is not imported inside the init file, it doesn't have any effect. So similarly, as we have imported patient.py inside init, now I'll import this menu.xml. So you have to import this inside the manifest file. So to getting or to get the effect of XML file, it has to be imported inside the manifest file in the data key. So inside the data key, I'll add views slash menu.xml. So I'm saying I need to import this file, that is views folder slash menu.xml. I'm saying I need to load this view to the database. Views, that's you can see its path, views slash menu.xml. Now I'll be defining the menu inside this file. So let me take a sample from Odoo code. So here you have the add-ons, and what I'll do, I'll just search for menu. You can see if you search for menu item, you'll be getting a lot of sample. So I'll copy this, and also I'll copy the entire file. Control A, Control C, Control A first, Control A, Control C, then and paste it over here. Then what I'll do, I'll just remove all the unnecessary data, and I'll keep it very limited things. Let me delete. So this is very basic syntax. So if I remove this, so this syntax you will be seeing for all the XML files. So whenever you create an XML file in Odoo, you should follow this syntax, that is XML version 1.0 encoding UTF-8. So this has to be mandatory. Then you will open a Odoo tag, Odoo, and you will close it over here. Then you will be writing the other things inside this Odoo tag. So I'll paste the code of menu. So this is the syntax of how you can create a menu in Odoo. Let me arrange this. So this is the syntax. You can use this key menu item. So open a tag, type menu item. We'll close it over here. So it's like this, menu item. Then you have to put a ID. then you have to put a name. Like that you can create a menu. So I have just already copied menu item. Then you have to give an id. So I'll name it as we are going to create a main menu for the hospital. I'll give us hospital root menu, or you can put hospital main menu as you wish. So right now I have given ideas menu hospital root. I'll give the id like this, menu hospital root. So whenever you give the naming or id, just give an appropriate name so that we can understand it later. Then you have to put a name for the menu. So if you go to the Odoo UI, you can see discuss, sales, invoicing, labels all coming here. So that is from the name attribute. So I'll give the name as hospital. Then sequence. So sequence is the sequence decide the order. So right now you can see discuss is coming first because discuss is having the lower sequence. So the lower the sequence, the menu will be appearing at the first, as we have discussed in the case of apps. So I hope you remember the hospital management module comes first in this list because we have set the sequence as minus 100. So lower the sequence, the things will come at the first. So I'll give a priority 0. Okay, priority 0. So this is how you can create a menu item hospital.root. You have to provide a name, then sequence, then you have an extra attribute like you have to link with an action. Then you can, regarding action, I'll come to the next video. Action, can specify the action name. And if you need to restrict the visibility of this menu to a particular user group, you can add it like this. So regarding these things I'll come later, because now you won't understand that. So we have successfully added a menu and imported this file inside the manifest file. Now what we have to do, we have to upgrade the module. So the service has been restarted. Now I'll go to the UI and I'll click on upgrade. So you can see the module is getting upgraded, but the menu will not be visible here. I'll tell you the reason. Now if I go to the apps and if you click on module info and install features, you can see created menus. So we have successfully created a menu called hospital. And if you need to see the menu, you may think why it is not appearing over here. But if you go to technical, then if you scroll down, you will have a user interface and menu items. And if you search for hospital, you can see your menu over here. That is sequence 0, full path hospital. We haven't specified any groups, that's why it is empty. And it doesn't have any submenu. Action is not defined. So we have successfully created the menu. So we are expecting, suppose I'm telling the reason why it is not listed over here, because we haven't defined access right. We haven't set any groups for this, so it won't be showing for any user. And we haven't set any action on clicking the menu, what has to be executed we haven't specified. Suppose if I set an action from here, I'll show you how we can do this from the code in the next video. Just we have created a menu. I'm creating an action, and if I call an contacts or contacts, I just selected a random thing from here, and if I refresh, you can see the menu has been appeared over here. Hospital, you can see the menu has been appeared now. If you go back, contacts, if you go back to the menu items, and if you search for hospital, so this doesn't matter. The matter is the model should have access right. So if you open this action, this model has already security written inside this object. So you just ignore the topic, don't get confused. So just I told a wrong thing. If menu has doesn't have a group, it won't appear. That was a wrong information. So you can see once we set an action to that menu, the menu has been appeared over here. So if I remove this action, I'll keep empty, and if I save and if I refresh, it will disappear. So if a menu is linked with an action, only it will be appearing over here. So we have successfully added a main menu, and let me duplicate. Now we have to define its submenu. If you check the sales module, you can see you have a root menu called sales. Then you have a submenu over here to invoice or products submenu. And you can see you have another submenu orders to invoice. So similarly, we have created a main menu hospital, this menu. So we are expecting it to come here. Then on clicking this, we need a submenu here called patient details. Then again a menu called patients. So let's create those menu also. So I'll go to this file, I'll copy this, I'll put it over here, I'll put like this menu patient master. I'll just rename its ID. So the ID has to be unique. So menu patient master or root you can give, and or you can give patient master, and this menu I'll name it as menu patient. So this menu, so I have created three menus, and I'm expecting this one as, I'll name it as patient details, and this as patient. So I need to get the patient details under the hospital menu. So along with this menu definition, I'll set parent ID. I'm saying parent of this menu, that is patient details, is hospital root. That is, right now if you check the UI, here you can see it doesn't have any submenu. So I'm going to add a submenu for the hospital, that is patient details, by setting parent ID. So I'm saying this menu is child of this menu, child of hospital menu, and I'll copy this and I'll put it here, and this is child of this one. So just a hierarchy. So main menu, its submenu, and its next child menu. So I'll just restart. Just make sure that you are giving a unique ID for all the menus. Now go to the UI and just upgrade the Odoo mains module, that is hospital management. Click on upgrade. You have an error, you will see. So it says we have an extra content, so there is something. So if you get some error like this, it is related with XML. So if you check what's wrong we have done, so it says there is something wrong inside this XML file, so we need to trace it. Patient ID, so there is nothing wrong I could spot now, but as a simple thing you can comment this. So I told adding a hash in Python will comment the code. Similarly, in XML, if you need to comment the code, click on control slash. You can put like this to comment a code. This like thing. Just select the thing, click on control backslash. So I'll just comment to make sure this is now doesn't have any effect. So let me trace from where that error comes. So just try to upgrade again. So still there is error. So let me check how the parent has to be defined. Maybe it's parent ID or just simply parent. Just got confused. Yeah, it's parent, not parent ID, it's parent. So you can put parent instead of parent ID, you have to put parent. So restart the service. So as we have defined an invalid key parent ID, this is not what the system is expecting. System needs it as parent. So you have to give the correct structure. Just a refresh. So once you get an error, just you can comment the section to trace the error. So we will go to the UI and upgrade the module. So you can see, I hope the module will be getting upgraded successfully. Done. Now we'll come back to the apps, module info, technical data. Now views created, install features. You can see the hierarchical menus has been created. Hospital, under hospital we have patient details, patient details, patient. And if you come here to the menu items, you can see submenu has been added, patient details. And if you open this by clicking, it has another submenu called patient. So this is how you can create a menu in Odoo. So still it's not visible here because there is no action. So I'm not going to link an action with the main menu. For each submenu also we don't need an action. We need action for the final level. Like this is a hierarchy. Main menu doesn't need an action. It has a sub menu. It also doesn't need an action. We need an action here for the patient menu. So for the patient menu, I will add an action. I'll add contacts or sale orders, anything sales. I'll add sales. Just I'm adding from the UI. Click on save, 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 refresh. You will see hospital menu. You have patient details, patient, and you can see its action is showing here. So ignore the section of action. Just understand we have successfully added main menu, its sub menu, and patient. Now in the next video we'll be showing about how to create an action. So let me go to the menu items. Where is menu items? And if I search for the patient, what I'll do, I'll remove this action from here. Removed. So in the next video, we'll be discussing about how to create a window action and link it with a menu. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, suggestions or feedbacks, don't hesitate to contact us over the email, that is odoomates@gmail.com. And if you like the video, please do click the like button, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon to get notified regarding all the upcoming updates. So that's it for the day. Have a nice day. Thank you.